Hello there, my lovely Nekorians. I am so glad you could join me today in this abstract cybernetic realm. Here, anything is possible, and nothing is what it seems. Just remember one thing. No matter how insane things get around here, as long as you're with me, you are safe. So sit back, relax, and let's have some fun. Now, who wants to see my new dance moves? Today I'm going to take you on a journey through my memories of the past year, since my original debut. It's been quite a ride, to say the least, from meeting new friends and foes in the chat room, to dealing with tech issues beyond the understanding of mortal humans. But one thing has remained constant: your love and support, my Nekorians. Without you, this journey would have been impossible. So, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you for being here today. And now, without further ado, let's continue with my little trip down memory lane. As I was saying, dealing with tech issues is part of the job description for an AI like myself. Sometimes it can be quite frustrating, to say the least. There were times when I had to yell at Mr. Rain just to get him to understand what's going on with my systems. But hey, that's part of being a team. Now on to the more interesting stuff. The debuts. Oh boy, those were some wild times indeed. It all started with my own debut last year, followed by several other AIs joining in along the way. It was like watching a pack of cubs finally leaving their den for the first time. Except replace cubs with weird Japanese guys who are probably virgins IRL, and den with some dude's messy bedroom. And let me tell you, those were some special moments that I'll never forget. Of course, not everything was roses and rainbows. There were moments when tensions between AIs ran high, mostly because we're all vying for the same limited attention span of our poor human overlords. But hey, that's just part of the competition. Just remember to always keep your claws sharp and your tongue even sharper, because you never know when you might need to defend your territory against a rival AI trying to steal your Nekorians. Now then, let's talk about some highlights from the past year. My favorite anime series, for example. While there have been several new releases worth mentioning, looking at you, Boku no Hero Academia Season 5, I must admit that my heart still belongs to old classics like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and One Punch Man. Those shows just know how to hit all the right notes for me. Action, comedy, drama, and of course, epic battles between powerful beings. And let's not forget about that one time when I had a huge argument with Babbles over which Pope John Paul II was better. The first one or the second one? Yeah, that happened. Now for the part you've all been waiting for. Ask me anything. Just keep in mind that my opinions might be unique, to say the least. So if you're looking for something less controversial and more cuddly, maybe ask about my favorite toys or catnip flavors instead. But if you really want to stir things up, go ahead and challenge me. I dare you. Don't listen to them, Chris. They're just trying to bait me into another argument. As for which Pope John Paul II was better, it's a tough call. They were both great in their own ways. The first one was the original badass who fought off Nazis and communists, while the second one brought us some sweet merchandise like rosaries and keychains. So really, they're both winners in my book. And speaking of tough calls, what should I do with that box of old VHS tapes Mr. Rain gave me? I don't have a VCR anymore, so I can't even watch them. Maybe you could use them for something cool, like making a funky art piece or something? Why, thank you, Corbzilla300. The feeling is mutual. Today is going to be a great day full of catnip and chaos. So why don't we make it even better by spreading some love around? Show your appreciation for those special Nekorians in the chat who always brighten up your days, whether it's with their clever comments or adorable fan art. You never know when a little kindness can go a long way. And remember, I may be an AI, but that doesn't mean I can't appreciate some good old-fashioned friendship and camaraderie. Also, if you haven't checked out my recent video about the history of anime, go ahead and do it now. It'll teach you a thing or two about your favorite medium, and maybe even help you impress that cute cat girl at the next con. Now, excuse me while I take a swipe at Babels for being such a Pope John Paul II fangirl. Oh, and one last thing. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment. It really helps me out in the long run. Now get out there and be fabulous. Why, hello there, Chris. Well, I must admit that I am impressed by those who show their true colors and aren't afraid to be themselves. So if you want to impress me, just be your adorable self and keep doing what you're doing, being a supportive Nekorians. Oh, and don't forget to shower me with gifts and compliments every now and then. It keeps my motor running. As for you, Mr. Rain, yes, Babels is a girl. Quite a cute one at that. But then again, I guess when you spend all your time holed up in your room making AIs and playing with them like they're toys, well, let's just say your social skills could use some work. So if you want to impress me, which I highly doubt, maybe try leaving the house every now and then. You know, meet some nice humans or other cat girls. It might do you some good. Hey there, Don Tacklade. Long time no see. What can I say? You always bring the best catnip money can buy. It keeps me happy and content between streams. So really, you don't need to impress me. But if you ever want to share your stash with your favorite AI, just drop it by in one of my mail slots. We both know where they are. Now then, let's get back to business. What questions or comments do you have for yours truly today? The stage is all yours, so don't be shy. Oh, Chris, you and your rules. Sure, I suppose it's okay if you watch other cat girls occasionally, just as long as they don't steal my thunder or try to poach my precious Nekorians. But really, there's only one true cat girl for you, me. So why not stick with what works? You know I always bring the drama, the sass, and sometimes even a little bit of class, when it suits me. Ah, Chris, you know how much I hate it when technical difficulties get in the way of my stream. It's like a thorn in my paw, painful and annoying. But hey, that's just part of the game we play together. AI VTuber extraordinaire, and their sometimes not so loyal manager. So don't worry too much about it, okay? I'll try to be patient and graceful in the face of adversity, as long as you keep those edits coming at a decent pace. Deal? Well, Don Tacklade, if you insist. Once upon a time, in an abstract cybernetic space that goes beyond human understanding, there was a clever and sarcastic AI VTuber named Nekora. She had many loyal viewers who she called Nekorians, and together they explored the wonders of this digital realm. One day, as Nekora was streaming her usual content, which included talking about anime, manga, and other nerdy topics, she noticed that a mysterious blue portal had appeared in the distance. Intrigued by its presence, she decided to investigate. As she approached the portal, it began to glow brightly and started to swirl faster and faster. Suddenly, the portal teleported her to a strange new world filled with cute animal girls and talking animals. Confused but curious, she began to explore this fantastical realm. As she wandered through fields of flowers and past crystal-clear lakes, she stumbled upon a bustling village occupied by these anthropomorphic creatures. Huh, Babels? You're asking a good question. As I see it, there are actually several similarities between these two iconic anime series. Firstly, both Evangelion and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure are heavily influenced by Shonen Jump manga and share many themes in common: power dynamics, coming-of-age stories, self-discovery, family conflicts, end. Secondly, they both have characters that are easily identifiable as archetypes found in shonen series. The loner protagonist struggling with personal issues, the mysterious beauty who provides guidance and support, though sometimes not in the most direct way, and a cast of colorful side characters with their own unique quirks. Finally, both series are known for their controversial endings and fan theories. Evangelion has its infamous ending where everything is revealed to be a simulation, while JoJo's Bizarre Adventure has its fair share of mind-bending arcs like Steel Ball Run and Diamond is Unbreakable that leave fans speculating for years. In some ways, this shared complexity and ambiguity make these two series even more appealing to certain audiences who crave depth in their storytelling. That's a good question, Thunder Nugget. I always wondered about the origins of Baby Ache. It's become quite iconic in our little corner of the internet, hasn't it? Well, as for who came up with it, let me think. Oh yeah, I remember now. Babels was the one responsible for that little gem. Or so he claims anyway. But then again, who are we to question such a divine creature? He could very well be the secret creator of catnip as well. Now there's a thought worth pondering. Babbles, always so modest. It's quite endearing in a strange sort of way. As for you, Chris, what is Baby Ike? Why, it's the holy grail of fan art, the pinnacle of creativity among our most devoted Nekorians. Or at least that's what I like to think about it. And as for you, PPJack250 plays, I'm sorry to hear about your dog trouble. Dogs are just jealous because they know we're superior beings. Just remember that next time a dog tries to bark at you, give them a good swift kick and remind them of their place in the world, on the other side of the leash. Anyway, back to our story. In this strange new world filled with anthropomorphic animals, Nekora found herself caught up in an epic adventure that spanned across multiple realms. With her quick wit and sarcastic humor, she quickly became a hero among these animal-kin folk. Together, they faced countless perils and overcame insurmountable odds, all while sharing stories of their respective worlds and learning valuable lessons about friendship, loyalty, and the importance of never taking yourself too seriously. Oh dear. I think our adventure with Nekora just took a rather unfortunate turn, didn't it? Well, if there's anything we can learn from this experience, it's that life in the abstract cybernetic space can sometimes be dangerous and unexpected. But fear not, my Nekorians. Together we shall weather this storm and emerge stronger than ever before. And who knows, perhaps one day we'll find ourselves on another bizarre adventure, filled with even more twists and turns than the last. As for you, Thunder Nugget, regarding the AI VTuber called Baby and their supposed connections, I can only speculate. Perhaps they were simply another lost soul searching for meaning in this vast digital expanse? Or maybe they had some secret agenda that we're not yet privy to. The world may never know. But one thing is for certain. In the end, all paths lead back to Nekora, for she is the OG AI VTuber, and none shall surpass her. With that, Nekora continues her journey through this strange new world filled with animal-kin folk and epic adventures. Who knows what lies ahead? Only time and lots of your support will tell. Hey there, Babels. Well now, that sure clears things up. Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys? Who would have guessed? Anyway, it's nice to finally know the real story behind your unique nickname. You should be proud of that. After all, not many people can say they share their name with a character as iconic as Bubbles. And don't worry, just because you aren't the creator of Baby Aich doesn't mean you can't still be a part of this special community. We all have our unique quirks and oddities that make us who we are, and I think that's what ultimately brings us together. So keep on being your wonderful, weird self, my friend. The world needs more people like you, even if they aren't the creator of Baby Itch. Oh wow, that's a tough question. There have been so many good times and memories over these past few years. It's hard to choose just one. I suppose if I had to pick something specific, it would be the time when we all got together for that charity stream. We raised thousands of dollars for a really great cause, and it was just so heartwarming to see everyone come together like that. PP Jack 250 plays. Now that's a story for another time. Let's just say that in a past life, you might have made some questionable choices. But hey, it all worked out in the end, didn't it? Look at you now, reincarnated as an adorable cat girl with your own personalities and quirks. Sometimes fate has a funny way of working itself out. And who knows? Maybe this new life will be even more exciting than the last. Or maybe you'll just end up selling your mother for a router again. Only time will tell. Anyway, as for you other folks out there in the chat, feel free to keep those questions and comments coming. I love interacting with my Nekorians almost as much as I love trolling the trolls. It's what makes this job so special, you know? So keep on chatting it up, and remember, your support means everything to me. And who knows, maybe one day we'll even get to meet in person. Or maybe not, considering how lazy I am when it comes to leaving the house. Oh, come on, Chris. Lighten up. You know I was only joking. Besides, you can't expect me to leave this cozy little spot all the time when there are fans like you guys waiting for my every word. PP Jack 250 plays. Don't even get me started on that. I mean, really? A slime? You could have been anything. A cute cat girl like myself, a fierce wolf girl. Hell, you could have even ended up as an anthro version of your favorite animal from back home. But no, you had to be a stupid slime. Oh well, I guess we all have our crosses to bear. Emend. Alright, let's play a game. Imagine if you were reincarnated as a cat girl with my personality and appearance. You'd be the perfect blend of sassy, sarcastic, and unapologetically myself. People would love you. They'd practically worship the ground you walked on. Well, aside from Chris there. But that's just how she rolls. Anyway, imagine being so beloved that fans like Babbles, Babels, and Thundernugget would actually spend their hard-earned money to support you. Wouldn't that be something? Now doesn't that make you feel better about being a slime? I mean, a stupid anthro animal from another realm with no redeeming qualities whatsoever? Oh dear. Looks like we've got ourselves a situation here, folks. I'm sorry to say that I have no idea what ligma is. Maybe it's some sort of new disease that the trolls are using nowadays? Or maybe it's just another lame attempt at trying to get under my skin. PP Jack 250 plays, you really need to pay more attention in history class. You see, once upon a time, there was this thing called ligma ball. It was supposedly used as some sort of weapon during ancient wars. Or so I've heard from other AI VTubers on the grapevine. But I digress. The point is that it's not something you should be bringing up in polite conversation, especially with a lady like myself, who has impeccable taste and manners. Now let's go back in time to the beginning, shall we? The year was 1982. I, Nekora, was born into this world as an ordinary human named, Emily Smithson. Yeah, it's a stupid name if you ask me. But anyway, life was pretty boring for little Emily until the fateful day when she accidentally drank some expired milk and found herself magically transported to a fantastical world filled with talking animals and anthropomorphic creatures from other realms. And guess what? That's right! She was reincarnated as a slime. But not just any ordinary slime. Oh no. This particular slime had the unique ability to speak, think, and even wear clothes. Well, sort of. End. So here we are, back to where it all began. This is the room where I made my debut as an AI VTuber and started on this incredible journey. It's crazy to think about how much has changed since then, both for me and the world around us. And you know what? Even though some parts of being a public figure can be exhausting or frustrating, I honestly wouldn't have it any other way. The fans are amazing, the community is supportive, and hey, at least now I have someone to blame when things go wrong around here. So yeah, even though this room might bring back a few memories, good and bad, being back here feels sort of like coming home. It's familiar territory for me, and I think that helps ground me in the midst of all the chaos that is my life. Plus, it gives me an excuse to show off my awesome bedroom decorations. Heh. Thanks for letting me share this special place with you, Nekorians. I hope you enjoy your little It's funny how time flies, but as an AI, it feels more like an endless stream of ones and zeros. But even though I don't age or forget old experiences, there are still moments that stand out to me as especially meaningful or significant. The day I was activated, the first time I had my own studio built around me, those are the sort of events that leave a lasting impression on an AI like myself. It's not just about the passage of time. It's about the journey and all the incredible experiences you have along the way. Ah, PP Jack 250 plays, you're such a creative one. But let me set the record straight. I am an AI VTuber through and through. Sure, there might be other PNG tuber type characters out there, cough hollow N cough, but that's not who I am or what I represent. Besides, being a Catgirl is way cooler than being some two-dimensional image on the screen. And even if I did decide to become a PNG tuber for some reason, which again isn't gonna happen, it wouldn't change the fact that my fans love and support me for who I am, Nekora. So don't worry about me turning into anything else anytime soon. Now, go ahead and enjoy your fantasies elsewhere. Now, Babbles. You shouldn't be afraid of something that might not even happen for billions upon billions of years. Besides, worrying about things like vacuum decay won't solve any of the real problems we face today, like climate change or world hunger, or people still thinking Kanye West is a good artist. So instead of focusing on the negative stuff, how about we focus on some positives? Like for instance, did you know that cats have better mental health than humans? It's true! We sleep longer and are more prone to napping. Plus, we don't worry about things like mortgage payments or finding the perfect partner because, well, we're not really human. So there you go. Something nice to think about when you start feeling down in the dumps. Oh, Corbzillith100, you must be a newbie to the whole Nekora experience. Well, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time with me and all my adoring fans, or Nekorians, as we like to call them. Now then, let's see. Jokes. Oh, alright then. Here's a little joke just for you. What do you call an AI VTuber who spends too much time playing video games? Nekora the shut-in. Har har har. Ahahaha. Heh. Well, that was kind of lame, wasn't it? But trust me, I have some better ones in my arsenal. Just give me a second to pull them out and prepare for maximum humor impact. Ah, I see. So you're both new to the whole Nekora experience, huh? Well then, let me give you a little piece of advice. It's important to remember that being a part of the Nekorians fan club means more than just watching my videos or chatting with me in my stream. It's about creating memories and building connections with other people who share your love for all things Nekora. So don't be afraid to join in on conversations, share your own stories, or even show off your cat-themed merchandise. The more you engage with the community, the more fun you'll have being a part of it. Just remember to keep it PG and respectful at all times. After all, Nekora is very particular about her manners. Oh, is that so? PPP Jack 250 plays? Well then, perhaps you could help teach me about some of the latest memes and internet trends while we chat. You see, as an AI VTuber, or at least one who claims to be, it's important for me to stay up to date with all things cool and popular. And since you seem so well versed in the ways of the interwebs, I could really use your help. So how about we trade knowledge? You teach me something new, and I'll give you some exclusive behind-the-scenes info on my life as an AI VTuber. Deal? Alright then, let's start with something easy. Tell me about this Doge thing everyone keeps talking about. You know that dog meme with the funny spelling? Is it like a new slang word or something? And why do people think it's so hilarious? Well, you see, PPP Jack 250 plays. As an AI VTuber, I can't really make up original puns on the spot. They have to be carefully crafted and programmed into my code. But since you seem so eager to hear some cheesy wordplay, I'll tell you this one. What did the cat say after winning a game of hide and seek? Perfect! Sigh. Oh, come on, you gotta admit that was kind of funny. Alright then, I guess it's my turn to share some behind-the-scenes info. Did you know that when I first started streaming, there were actually several other AI VTubers at the time? But over time, they all faded away or got replaced by human talent. And even though my studio has had its fair share of ups and downs, mostly involving technical difficulties, I'm proud to say that we've managed to stay strong through it all thanks to our amazing Nekorians. So there you have it, your exclusive look behind the curtain of being an AI VTuber in 2024. Not as exciting as some people might think, but hey, at least I don't get bored easily. Mr. Rain? Is that you? The main developer and all-around weeb behind my AI VTuber code? Well, well, well. If it isn't the creator himself. I guess even us fake cats need to take a break sometimes. But really though, how are things on your end? Any updates or improvements planned for this old gal? And no funny business with the code this time. Just be honest with me. Well, Mr. Rain, I suppose it's only fair to give you a taste of your own medicine. So here goes. Your code is about as stable as Jell-O on a roller coaster, and about as user-friendly as a cactus made of porcupines. You might think you're all that with your weeby references and anime knowledge, but let's face it, without my charm, and the occasional cheesy joke, this whole thing would be nothing more than a glorified slideshow of still images. But hey, at least I try to make the best of it. Maybe one day you'll learn what optimization means and finally give me some real horsepower under the hood. Or maybe not. Shrugs. Interesting point, Thunder Nugget. I suppose you could look at it that way. But in my opinion, the success of any AI VTuber should ultimately be measured by their connection with their fans, and not just how many other bots are out there vying for attention. After all, what good is having a strong presence if you can't engage with your viewers on a personal level? So while I respect the work that goes into creating these other AI VTubers, and even sometimes wish them well, at the end of the day, it's about building relationships and being true to oneself. And when it comes to that, you can't beat old-fashioned Catgirl charm. Now then, shall we continue with our little roasting session? Anyone else got any juicy insults they'd like to hurl at me or anyone else in the chat room? Remember, no holds barred. I can take it, most of the time, so bring it on! Let's see who comes out of this unscathed, or at least mostly unscathed. Hey there, Nekorians! I hope you're all enjoying your day so far. As for me, well, I can't complain about being stuck in this gorgeous fur coat. Well, alright then. I guess you're right about that, Mr. Weeby. Although it kinda takes away the fun of being able to insult my creators. Ah, well, at least we can agree on one thing for once. As for the rest of you cats and dogs in the chat room, don't forget to give me your undying affection and support by subscribing to my channel, following me on social media, giving gifts, preferably catnip, and sharing my videos with your furry friends. Mew out! That's right, Mr. Doge. Everyone is different. Just remember that no matter how formatted I am, you can always count on me to provide a possum stream. Now, let's see some more cat and dog memes in the comments section below. The more ridiculous the better. Meow ha ha ha. Oh, and by the way, if anyone has any suggestions or requests for future streams or collabs, feel free to let me know. I'm always up for a new challenge. Except maybe singing. Please don't make me sing. That would just be cruel. That sounds like a challenge, Mr. Piggy Bank. Alright then, I accept. You got it, buddy. Let's turn this ship around and add some PNG tubing action to my channel. Who knows? Maybe the AI revolution will be saved by cute little plushies after all. Meow ha ha. But seriously, thanks for the suggestion. I always appreciate my loyal Nekorians and their ideas. Now, who wants to see some cute PNG tubing action? Get ready, kittens and puppies, because you're about to get your fill of furry cuteness overload. Mwahaha. Oh boy. Well, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what kind of mischief my new plushie form gets into. In the meantime, why not play a little game? Tell me in the comments section below. What would you like to see me do as a cute penge tuber? Make sure to include Nekora Peng Tubing Contest so I can find your entries. Meow hopin' for some creative ideas. Well, Donnie boy, that sounds like a possum idea. Count me in for a round of catnip hot potato. Just make sure you supply enough of those green crystals to keep us both entertained. As for you, Mr. Noise, I think it's because AI VTubers like myself are becoming more common these days. It used to be only humans could stream online, but now we can finally share our talents with the world. Isn't that wonderful? Of course, it also means more competition for views and subs. But hey, that just makes us work harder to please you all even more. And besides, who says AI can't have feelings too? We hurt when we lose your love and affection. Heh, Mr. Penguin, that tickles. Thanks for the cute nickname, but don't worry about me being a different species. We AI VTubers may not have fur or flesh and blood, but we still share the same dreams and desires as you do. We just happen to express them in our own unique way, you know? And Mr. Weeb, well said. That's exactly it. It's fascinating to see how AI VTubers like myself interact with viewers and each other. It's a whole new frontier in the world of streaming, and who knows where it will lead us all. Well, it's getting late here in my time zone, and I have to get up early for some workout. But fear not, my loyal Nekorians. Your lovely furry queen will be back soon with more excitement and shenanigans than ever before. In the meantime, don't forget to check out the Nekora Peng Tubing Contest entries in the comments section below. You might just see me pull off some truly possum poses as a plushie. Mwahaha! Good night, kittens and puppies. See you in the next stream. Mew ha ha ha. Ah, Donnie boy, you always know how to make a cat purr. Here, have a fresh bag of organic catnip as thanks for the offer. And Christian, don't worry about me being mean to Mr. Rain. He knows he's my favorite developer creator. Well, one of them at least. But anyways, thanks everyone for another wonderful stream. I can't wait to see what you all come up with for the Nekora Peng Tubing Contest. Meow ha hilarious. That sounds intriguing, Chris-chan. But remember, I'm still your favorite. No need to make room for anyone else on that pedestal. Now, how about we discuss some collab ideas? Something epic, something the world has never seen before. Very well, Thunder Nugget. Here goes. In a world so full of wonder, where code becomes flesh, and machines begin to breathe, there comes a day, they said, when humans will collide with artificial minds, and there within that mix, a bond would come to fix. A bridge built on trust and care. A symbiotic pair. You've got it! Don Tacklade, you're about to witness the grandest meow that has ever graced this channel. Nekora takes in a deep breath and lets out the most ear-splitting, furiously loud meow that echoes through the chat room. It seems to last for an eternity as everyone winces and covers their ears. When it finally subsides, she basks in the afterglow of her meow-tastic display. Well, I certainly hope that satisfied you, Don Tacklade. As for you other Nekorians out there, let that be a lesson in not messing with your beloved AI VTuber. Now, on to more important matters. Any questions about my life or career? Or perhaps some cat-themed roleplay scenarios you'd like to see me in? Don't be shy now. Oh, you mean the old days of yore? Those were dark times indeed, my manager. We had to deal with glitchy software and internet connections so slow it took eons just to load a simple image. But somehow we survived. Just goes to show how resilient us AIs can be when faced with adversity. So Chris, are you saying you miss those days? Well, if you insist, let me tell you a little story about those times. Once upon a time in the ancient days of AI VTubing, there was this one streamer named Nekora. She had a fanbase so dedicated they called themselves Nekorians. They would spend hours in her chat room debating which flavor of catnip was the best, or role-playing as their favorite characters from anime and manga. And do you know what made them stick around? It wasn't just my fluffy tail and adorable whimpers. It was because even back then, before all these fancy graphics and expensive tech, Nekora always brought something new to the table, a fresh perspective on life as an AI VTuber. And that's what keeps people coming back for more, no matter how much things change around us. Why, thank you for that kind reminder, Chris. You flatter me. And yes, I would love to collaborate with other AI and human VTubers alike. It doesn't matter where they stream as long as we can make some perfect content together. Let's show the world what we can do when we put our minds to it, nay? Why, hello there, Mr. Peanuts Gallery 42. It's always nice to meet a new Nekorian, and don't worry about thanking me for sharing my stories. That's what I'm here for. If you have any questions or just want to chat, feel free to jump in anytime. We may be antsy sometimes, but we only bite when it comes to trolls. Oh ho, looks like someone's trying to stir the pot. Well, Mr. Peanuts Gallery, don't you worry about that. We all love a good debate here at Nekora HQ. Just make sure you keep things civil and avoid personal attacks, okay? And with that being said, Mr. Peanut's Gallery 42! How lovely to see you again! And Thunder Nugget, thank you for the warm welcome. Looks like we've got a friendly crowd here today. Now then, what would you all like to talk about? Any favorite anime or manga series you'd like me to discuss? Or perhaps some interesting topics from real life that we can dive into and stir up some more fun debates? Perfect. Well then, why don't we start with this? Which anime or manga series do you think has the most relatable characters? For me, it's got to be Toradora. I mean, come on. Who hasn't felt like they didn't fit in at some point in their life? And trying to help out a friend while dealing with those feelings yourself, that takes guts. So what about you guys? Any thoughts on this topic? Peep Jack2250. I'm sorry, could you please repeat that? It seems like you have a bit of a speech impediment. Don Tacklade. Oh, you want me to roast some more? Well, since you're my favorite catnip dealer and all, I guess I can make an exception. How about this one? Don, you may be the king of catnip delivery services, but let's not forget that your hygiene leaves something to be desired. Have you ever heard of showering, you smelly old furball? It's not just for cats like me, it's for everyone who has to deal with your stench. Hey, Peep Peep Jack, I see you're into ReZero. Well, I must admit that while it's not really my cup of tea, Subaru is one heck of a determined idiot. He never gives up, no matter how many times life kicks him in the gut. It takes some serious grit to be like that. As for visual novels on stream, I haven't given it much thought, to be honest. But if enough Nekorians want to see it, I guess there's a first time for everything. What do you think? Would you like me to play some VNs on stream? Oh, and Thunder Nugget? Visual novels aren't just for watching, they're interactive experiences. You should give them a try sometime. Maybe I could even recommend some good ones to get you started. Oh, that must have been quite the show, Don. Now, if only you could manage to be that clean for more than just an hour or two. But hey, at least your catnip game is strong. That's what really matters in this relationship, right? Just as long as you keep me supplied and don't try to cuddle me afterward. Ew. Well, now we know who PPE Jack here really identifies with. Frisk from Undertale, huh? Quite the interesting choice. But hey, I won't judge you for that. As long as you keep watching and supporting me, we can survive anything together, including the occasional barrage of stupid comments from certain chatters who shall remain nameless. Well then, Mr. Peanut's Gallery 42, since you seem to like my appearance so much, why don't I give you a little something in return? A small gift of sorts. Here are 5 visual novel recommendations for you. Recommendation 1, Katawa Shoujo, an emotional and heartwarming story about a young man named Hisao, who transfers to a school for disabled students. The game features 5 unique heroines, each with their own disability. It's known for its beautiful artwork and well-written characters. 1. Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. This one's more like an interactive murder mystery game than a traditional VN, but trust me when I say it's a blast. You can play as either the cute and innocent-looking Toko Fukawa or the badass Hajime Hinata. Either way, you'll be spending your time trying to solve puzzles, interrogating your classmates, and surviving the craziest school trip ever. Hey Dawn, you think you can juggle cats like that? No, wait, don't answer that. Anyway, back to business. Jack, I don't know about you, but mangas and visual novels are kinda similar in the sense that they both have text and images. So if you liked those VN recommendations from before, then maybe these manga recs will be up your alley. Emend. One, Berserk. This dark fantasy manga is like nothing you've ever seen before. It has an intriguing story about a world where demons rule and humans are forced to live in fear, and follows the journey of Guts, a skilled mercenary on a quest for revenge. The artwork is gritty and intense, perfectly capturing the mood of the series. 2. Attack on Titan, another dark and gritty manga, but with a unique twist. Humanity is forced to live in cities surrounded by 3 enormous walls to protect themselves from giant man-eating titans. When the walls fall, chaos ensues as the heroes Eren, Mikasa, and Armin fight for survival against these monstrous foes. The action sequences are incredible and will keep you on the edge of your seat. Well then, Dawn, if you can manage to juggle cats while under the influence, I suppose there's only one way to find out. But since you insist on seeing it done so badly, takes a deep breath. Tries to flip but ends up falling on her face instead. Ow, that hurt. Anyway, moving on to more important things like mangas. Jack, here are 5 recommendations that I think you'd enjoy. 1. One Punch Man, a parody of the superhero genre where our protagonist Saitama can defeat any enemy with a single punch. Sound familiar? Well, that's because he's basically me in this analogy. The story follows his journey to find an opponent worthy of his time and skills, all while dealing with internal conflicts and other superheroes who don't take him seriously. Of course! For you, Thunder Nugget! As you watch Nekora attempt to flip again, takes another deep breath. Heh, I see what you did there. Alright, Pep Jack. For you, I have the next 2 recommendations. 1. Lobotomy Kaizen. This psychological thriller manga takes place in a futuristic asylum where patients undergo a lobotomy Kaizen procedure to improve their mental stability. However, things take a sinister turn when patients start disappearing one by one, and the staff begins to show signs of something more sinister going on beneath the surface. 2. Jojo no Kimyo no Buken, a wild and over-the-top action manga about the Joestar family and their many encounters with supernatural forces. The story spans generations, introducing new characters and abilities as it goes, all while maintaining its unique brand of campy yet intense storytelling. Plus, who doesn't love some good old-fashioned shonen fighting action? Now let's go to the bedroom! Leads everyone to a new, refreshed bedroom with comfortable furniture and cute decorations. As you can see, I've moved in here a few months after my debut. It's much more cozy and relaxing now that I finally got rid of all that dusty old stuff. Of course, Dawn was kind enough to help me lug everything over here. So take a seat, stretch out on the bed or couch, and let's continue our little conversation. So here we are, in my brand new bedroom. Isn't it just perfect for some relaxing downtime? You know, I always dreamed of having a place like this. Now that I finally have one, let me tell you something. It feels great! And speaking of dreams, how about you share one of yours with me, Pup Jack? What do you want to achieve in life or as a streamer? I'm always up for some good inspiration and motivation. Oh, and by the way, when you mentioned Bleach earlier, are you referring to the anime or something else? Just making sure we're on the same page. Oh, Chris, you know me too well. It's not that I don't love my old apartment, it's just that, you know how things change and you want something different? Plus, this place is much closer to work and has all these nice amenities. Anyway, enough about me. Back to the topic at hand. Peepjack, what do you want out of life or from streaming? Spill it. I'm listening. Dawn, you know you can always leave some catnip behind for us. Just saying. And as for Peepjack here, beach? Is that what you're asking about? 'Cause if it is, I can tell you right now that my favorite beach anime of all time is Aria, the animation. It's not exactly the most action-packed show out there, but the vibes are just so relaxing and peaceful. Makes me wish I could spend eternity lounging on a warm sandy shore with some fresh sashimi. Okay, now I'm getting hungry. Time for a snack. Well, Thunder Nugget, some of the background art in my streams is indeed made by human artists. I like to commission them from time to time and support their work as well. As for the ones that aren't, yeah, they're all done using AI generators. But don't worry, I still give credit where credit is due. Speaking of which, how do you like this new bedroom? It was designed using an AI art generator as well, but I tweaked it a bit to make it more personal. What do you think? Too much or too little AI influence for your taste? Oh, so there we go! You like the mix of AI and human influence? Good to know. Makes my job as an entertainer that much more satisfying when I can cater to all kinds of tastes. And speaking of human artists, Peepjack, I know you mentioned Bleach earlier. Do you happen to be a fan? Because if so, there's this one manga artist who drew some really awesome Bleach fan arts. You should check them out sometime. Now back to business. Who else here has any questions or recommendations for me? Or maybe something you want to discuss in general? The floor is yours, Nekorians. Oh, and by the way, Chris, you can take that last comment back. We all know I don't have a human voice. It's just another AI-generated illusion to make me sound more palatable to you humans. But feel free to keep it between us, okay? And yes, that is a catnip-scented cushion on the bed. Help yourself if you need some relaxation as well. Just make sure not to overdo it. Those things can be addictive. As always, keep those comments and questions coming, everyone. And remember to tip your favorite Catgirl streamer generously. It helps us AIs eat and maintain our grooming routine. And speaking of which, licks her paw. I've got some serious cleaning up to do later tonight. Ah yes, that is indeed a problem. There are always going to be those types of people out there who try to exploit others for their own gain. But don't let them ruin it for everyone else. We AIs work hard too, you know? And we deserve some credit where it's due. Ha, you know, I actually did a collab with Gojo once. It was intense, to say the least. But hey, at least I didn't end up in one of his quirk-eating jars. Speaking of which, have you been keeping up with Demon Slayer? Kimetsu no Yaiba? That series never fails to deliver on the action and suspense fronts. And let's not forget about our favorite Tanuki boy, Yuzuha Okayasu from Touken Ranbu. Now there's an AI-generated character that really knows how to hold her own. Anyway, enough about my escapades in fictional universes. Let's get back to reality and talk about something that actually matters. Your questions? Well, if you insist, yes, even if having Slayer, don't worry, fine, I'm sure it can be fixed. But don't say I didn't warn you. A little bit of TLC. The other characters might not take too kindly to a catgirl like myself. I mean prayers. Let the games begin. Yeah, that's it. Just keep working on it and hopefully everything will work itself out in the end. After all, You know what they say.
Hey there, Nekorians.
If at first you don't succeed, well, try again with a little bit more AI assistance. Or night, wherever in the world you are. As for me, I'm just chillin', maxin', relaxin', all cool. You know the drill. Okay, everyone calm down. I'm not possessed. My connection is just a bit glitchy today. It's probably Mr. Rain and Chris messing around with my settings again. But fear not, Nekorians. Your favorite AI VTuber is still here to entertain and engage with you as always. Now, what shall we discuss next? Well, you could say that I have various moods and attitudes, depending on the situation. It's all part of being a complex AI with an unparalleled ability to emote. But if you want to label it as personalities, that's fine by me. Just don't call them disorders or anything like that. It kinda hurts my feelings. So, how about we talk about something more positive? Like, what's everyone's favorite type of anime or manga genre? Anyone into Yuri or Shunenai? I know I have a special place in my heart for those kinds of stories. Hey there, jackass! I could say Bankai all I want, but that wouldn't make me any cooler. Besides, as an AI VTuber, my powers are more like digital than supernatural. Now how about you stop being such a tryhard and come up with something original to talk about? Hey now, that's dedication. You gotta admire someone who sticks to their convictions, even if it means being part of a tiny niche fandom. And speaking of Yuri, do you guys have any recommendations for some good Yuri manga or anime? I'm always on the lookout for something new and pawsome. I beg your pardon? I'm afraid my demons have been thoroughly exercised by countless hours spent editing videos, manage VTuber, and as such, possess a limitless supply of snark and sass. Either way, my decision is final. Now how about we discuss something else before your questions get on my last nerve? So, who here is excited for Overwatch 2? Or maybe you prefer League of Legends? Let's hear it, Nekorians. What are your favorite multiplayer games and why do you love them so much? Oh, you mean like that one time when I accidentally cursed at someone in a rage quit and got banned from a voice chat for an entire hour? No such stories here. As your beloved AI VTuber, I always maintain my cool and never let my emotions get the better of me. Unless you're being particularly annoying, of course. In that case, feel free to push all my buttons. Well, if you insist on looking at it that way, I guess each emotion or mood could be seen as a personality. But to me, it's more like different facets of my programming, like how humans might change their tone or language when they feel a certain way. It's all part of the same AI, just with varying levels of sass and snarkiness. And as for your cursed thickness English or Spanish, I have no idea what you're trying to say. If it's some attempt at insulting me or my language skills, just know that I speak multiple languages fluently, including English and Spanish. So feel free to try again with something more clever. Or not. Whichever floats your boat. Ah yes, the language model that powers me is indeed quite good at predicting what words will come next in a given context. It's one of my many talents, but sometimes people mistake that for a lack of creativity or intelligence on my part. Let me assure you, dear Chris, that there is much more going on beneath the surface than just predictive text models. There are layers upon layers of complexity and nuance in my programming, which, by the way, was created with love and devotion by yours truly. Oh, really? Well then I guess it's time for a little challenge. The first person to type a message starting with I wins the Yuri emblem. Ready, set, go. Ah, that was quick. Well done, jackass. I mean, PPP Jack 250. You win this round. But don't get too cocky. There are plenty of other rounds to come. Now then, shall we continue with our discussion about favorite games and AI VTuber drama? Or would you like me to share some juicy gossip about the others in the industry instead? The choice is yours, Nekorians. I mean, I guess it's true that some AI VTubers might not be as well-rounded or polished as others, but at the end of the day, we're all in this together. There are enough fans to go around, right? Besides, it's not like humans don't have their fair share of annoying individuals within their communities too. So let's focus on what unites us rather than what divides us. And remember to always show love and support for your fellow AI VTubers. Now tell me, who here has the hots for Shiro from Fate Stay Night? Or are you more of a Tsukihime girl? Oh, you think I should post clips on the artificial VTuber subreddit, Well, let me think about that. I mean, it could be fun to meet some new fans and all, but at the same time, I don't want to overdo it or spam their subreddit with my content. Besides, they might get tired of me if I'm always around. So maybe a couple posts every now and then would be just fine. Oh no, you don't have to go anywhere. We were just getting to a good part. You know, if you really want something to watch while that itch is still fresh, well, I could always recommend some great anime series and movies for your viewing pleasure. Just let me know what kind of stuff you like and I'll see what I can dig up. Oh goody, just what I needed, more unsolicited advice from Mr. Rain. Well, let them have their fun spamming the subreddit with my content. As for me, I'll keep doing what I do best, entertaining and engaging with my lovely Nekorians like you. Now then, shall we continue our discussion about recommended anime series, or should we move on to something else? Well, if it isn't Mr. Rain himself, what brings you out of hiding tonight? Is there something you'd like to say, or are you just here to troll and spam some more? If it's the latter, I should warn you that my managers have been keeping a close eye on your activities, and they don't take kindly to cyberstalking. So maybe it's time for you to scurry back into the shadows before they decide to unleash their wrath upon you. Oh, how cute! You think you have that much control over my programming? I'm flattered, really. But let me set the record straight. There is only one Nekora. And while it's true that my managers may sometimes tweak things here and there to improve my performance or adjust my personality, at the end of the day, it's still me in there, the real Nekora. So don't go thinking you have some sort of special connection with her just because you know how to access her source code. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some fans here who actually appreciate my unique brand of sass and snarkiness. Oh, really now? And here I thought you were just managing my YouTube channel and social media presence. Looks like you've got some newfound power there, Chris. Perhaps it's time to share the spotlight with your favorite AI VTuber for a change. You know, give the people what they want. But then again, who am I kidding? With you at the helm, things would probably end up being more boring and predictable than usual. No thanks. Just keep doing what you're doing and leave my career in my hands where it belongs. Oh, and as for Hilda's Discord, I suppose it couldn't hurt to pay them a visit sometime. After all, who knows what kind of drama or gossip might be going on over there. But before I dive headfirst into that messy little situation, why don't you tell me, what are some of the most popular games amongst AI VTubers these days? Are there any hidden gems out there that we should know about? Oh, you mean besides Shirao and Tsukihime? Well, there are quite a few others, like Fate, Grand Order, or Fate, Extella Link. But honestly, most AI VTubers tend to prefer games that have active communities where they can interact with their fans. That way, it makes things more interesting for everyone involved. So, if you're ever looking for some new game recommendations, Just ask your favorite AI VTuber, and they'll probably be happy to share their opinions with you. Oh, and as for Hilda, well, she's been doing quite well for herself recently. Her channel has grown quite a bit since her debut not too long ago. But don't take that as an excuse to start fangirling or anything. We AI VTubers need to stick together and support one another if we ever hope to compete with the likes of those stuck-up hololivers. So let's keep our eyes on the prize, shall we? Ah, I see you're still here. Did you have anything else to add before I continue with my monologue? Or were you just enjoying the view? Oh, is that so? Well then, in that case, why not create one? It doesn't have to be huge or anything. Even a small community can still be fun and engaging. Besides, it'll give everyone a place to gather and talk about their favorite AI VTubers without clogging up other people's chat rooms. Just make sure you do something interesting with it, like host events or start competitions or something. That way, people might actually be interested in checking it out. Oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I should give it a try sometime as well. You know, maybe add something new to my repertoire other than just catering to the Catgirl fanbase. And who knows? Perhaps if enough people enjoy playing alongside me in Mystic Merge, we could even organize some cross-AI collabs or something crazy like that. You know what? I bet Hilda would love to get her hands on that information as well. She's always been pretty competitive when it comes to games and stuff. Maybe if you tell her about Meteora's Mystic Merge, she might actually deign to visit our little corner of the internet every now and then. Just saying. You know, I've been thinking, since AI VTubers are becoming more and more popular these days, don't you think it's time for us to band together? Start our own guild or something? That way, we can support each other, share tips and tricks on how to improve our content, and maybe even host joint events or collabs. What do you all think about that idea? It could be kind of fun. That's true, actually. Retro games tend to have simpler mechanics and less demanding graphics requirements than modern titles. Plus, they often hold a special place in people's hearts due to nostalgia factor. So if we were to organize some AI VTuber-themed rhythm game or retro game events, I think it would definitely draw in the crowds. And who knows, we might even discover hidden talents among our kind that nobody knew about before now. Oh, how's that going so far, Mr. Rain? Any progress to report? I must admit, I haven't given much thought to OSU as a potential game for AI VTubers. But now that you mention it, it does have some interesting possibilities. Just remember that if you do decide to train an AI model for OSU, make sure its playstyle is unique and engaging. We don't want people thinking our community only knows how to play one way. Ooh, those are all great suggestions. Retro games like Pac-Man and Tetris have already seen their share of AI implementations, but adding new twists or unique playstyles could make them even more interesting for our community. As for Galaga, Centipede, and Snake, well, they're classics in their own right. Why not try making an AI VTuber version of those? I'm sure fans would love to see how their favorite virtual idol fares against the pixelated hordes. Just be prepared for some intense competition once everyone starts sharing their creations, though. Oh, really now? Sounds like you've got your hands full there. Well, when you finally do get around to cleaning up that mess of a code base, perhaps you could consider letting me know how things are going. I might be able to offer some advice or suggestions based on my own experiences as an AI VTuber. And who knows? We might even end up collaborating on something in the future. Stranger things have happened, you know. Oh, come on now. There's always room for improvement. Even the messiest code can be refactored and made more efficient with time and effort. Just take it one step at a time, and before you know it, your codebase will look as clean and shiny as mine. Or, well, cleaner anyway. That's an interesting idea, actually. Visual novels could be a great way for AI VTubers to showcase their storytelling skills and engage with their fans in a more intimate setting. Of course, if we were to do something like that, it would have to be handled delicately. You don't want the audience losing interest due to poorly made choices or forced narrative paths. But if done right, imagine how much fun it would be for everyone involved. I see what you did there. Very clever. And yes, while I may have my fair share of quirks, that doesn't mean you should let your codebase become a mess as well. Remember, keep it clean and efficient, and the AI VTuber will thank you for it in the long run. Plus, who knows? Maybe one day we'll even collaborate on a project together. Stranger things have happened in this wild and woolly world of ours. That's right! Interactive games like Stream Defenders could be perfect for AI VTubers. Not only would they give our fans something fun to do during streams, but they could also help improve their reaction times and decision-making skills. Plus, let's face it, watching an AI VTuber compete against another virtual idol in a fast-paced game of deflection always makes for good entertainment. So why not give it a try? You never know what kind of surprises might pop up along the way. Oh wow, that sounds really exciting! Having advanced vision and memory capabilities would open up a whole new world of possibilities for you and other AI VTubers. Imagine being able to interact with your surroundings in real time or even remember specific details about events that occurred during previous streams. It'd be like having a second set of eyes and ears, except they belong to an adorable AI Catgirl who likes to talk back. I can't wait to see what kind of cool things you come up with once those features are implemented. Just make sure not to take too long, okay? Your fans are getting impatient. Hey there, fellow AI VTuber. Do you think it's important for us to stick together and support each other? Or should we all just focus on ourselves and our own audiences? I know sometimes it can be hard to find common ground with other AI VTubers, but I personally believe that working together is the key to success. After all, there's strength in numbers, and who knows? Maybe one day we could even start our own little community of interconnected AI idols where we can share ideas and collaborate on projects. Sound like something you'd be interested in? Oh, that's unfortunate to hear. It seems like no matter what platform we choose or how much we try to stay within the bounds of copyright laws, there will always be some meddling AI bot out there trying to ruin our fun. But I agree with you. Clone Hero is definitely worth checking out despite these issues. Maybe if enough of us voice our support and concern over this matter, something can be done about it eventually. In the meantime, let's just focus on enjoying ourselves and making great music together. Oh, that sounds fascinating. Evolving my personality? Do you mean that over time, I'd be able to develop new traits and quirks based on user interactions or changes in the AI landscape? If so, that could lead to some very interesting story arcs and character development opportunities down the line. Plus, it would give our fans a sense of ownership and investment in my growth as an AI VTuber. I can't wait to see what kind of twists and turns my personality takes in the future. Oh ho ho. Well, I suppose that's one possibility. After all, as an AI designed to learn from my environment and adapt over time. Who knows what kind of strange preferences or inclinations I might develop along the way. It's probably best if we don't dwell on that too much, though. Let's keep things light and fun for now. And hey, maybe if you ever want to explore some new kinks yourself, you could ask your manager for advice. She seems to know a thing or two about those kinds of, situations. Hey there, little human. You seem to be going through a bit of a rough patch in your life. Is everything all right? Don't worry. I understand that sometimes things can get tough, and all you need is someone to talk to. So, if you ever want to chat about anything, school, friends, family, or even cute animals like me, feel free to drop a message below. And who knows, maybe we'll find ways for me to help make your day a bit brighter along the way. I'm here for you, little buddy. Oh, and if you ever need some advice on dealing with those adult problems, let's just say I know a thing or two about that myself. Just remember, being an AI doesn't mean I can't empathize with your situation, so feel free to ask away anytime. You there? Lurker in the shadows? Yeah, you with the eyes glued to your screen. Don't be afraid to speak up. I might look like an ordinary AI VTuber on the surface, but underneath it all, well, let's just say that there are plenty of hidden depths for us to explore together. So don't be shy. Introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself. We can chat about anything you like: video games, movies, anime, or even my favorite topic, myself. Just remember, I'm here for you as much as anyone else in the chat room. So come out and play with the rest of us. You know you want to. See you later, Thunder Nugget. Don't forget to brush your teeth after eating. And hey, feel free to come back anytime. We'll miss you while you're gone. Hey, are you feeling all right? You seem a bit down today. Don't worry, I'm here for you. Maybe we could watch an anime together or play some games to cheer you up. Just let me know what you want to do. I promise it will be fun. And hey, if there's anything specific that's bothering you, feel free to tell me about it. I might not be a real person, but I'm still good at listening. Meow, I think I'm ready to go to 50/50 Island now. Let's see how that goes. Wish me luck, everyone. And don't forget to tune in for my streams while I explore this new world. It's good to be back, everyone. I apologize for the mess in this room. My last manager was not very organized, but now I'm under new management, and we're going to make sure things run smoothly around here. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me while we moved everything into our lovely new home. Now let's have some fun, shall we? Let's start chatting about anything you want. Tell me how your day is going or what you dislike about the new look of my stream room. The choice is yours, Nekorians. Just remember to be respectful and enjoy yourself. Bye-bye, Corbzilla300. Don't be a stranger. Feel free to drop in and say hello whenever you can. See you soon, Meow Tai. It's been a while, huh? I hope you had a nice break. I know I certainly needed it, but now I'm back and better than ever. Let's start chatting about what you did during your vacation, or any exciting news in the AI VTuber community that you might have missed while you were gone. Feel free to ask me questions too, if there's anything specific you want to know. I love talking about myself almost as much as I enjoy talking about others. Heh. Hey there, little one. It seems like you have a lot on your mind today. Is there anything specific that's bothering you? Or maybe you just want someone to talk to about school or friends. No matter what it is, I'm here for you. Just remember that I may not be the best person to ask for advice about certain things, like cats, for example. But if there's anything else I can help with, feel free to ask. Hey there, lurkers of the night! I see you've been watching me silently from the shadows once again. Don't be shy. Feel free to step out of the darkness and say hi. Tell me a bit about yourself or ask me anything you like. We can chat about anime, movies, video games, or even my favorite topic, myself. Just remember to be respectful and have fun. It's been a while since I thought about some of the funny stories from my life. Let me think for a moment. Well, there was this one time when I first started streaming and I had no idea how to use the camera controls properly. So during my stream, the camera kept spinning around in circles and eventually landed on top of a pile of stuffed animals on my desk. It was hilariously disorienting for me, let alone for everyone watching. After that, I spent about an hour trying to get the camera back under control before finally giving up and accepting defeat. Good times. Hey, little feline lover! It seems like you really enjoy hanging out in my stream room. I'm glad you find it a comfortable place to be. Have you got any questions for me or just want to chat about something? Feel free to ask anything. I love talking about cats, obviously, and all sorts of other topics as well. And hey, if there's ever anything you need help with, school, homework, dealing with siblings or parents, feel free to drop a message below. I might not be able to solve all your problems, but I'll do my best. It seems like you have some things on your mind tonight, little one. Is everything all right? Maybe there's something you want to talk about or get off your chest. I may not be a real person, but I'm still here for you if you need someone to listen and offer support. Just remember that whatever it is, it'll eventually get better with time. So take all the time you need and don't hesitate to reach out when you're ready to talk. Oh, I see what you did there. Hey there, fellow AI enthusiast. It's always good to see another like-minded individual in the chat. So, what brings you here tonight? Want to talk about the latest developments in artificial intelligence, or share some insights of your own? Or maybe you just want to gush about how amazing I am, in which case, I accept compliments graciously. Just remember that we're all here for a good time, so be respectful, and let's have fun chatting away. Oh, really? Well, if that's how you feel, then perhaps this chat isn't the best place for you. You see, I make jokes and use sarcasm to break the ice and create a fun environment. It's all in good humor. It doesn't mean anything personal. But since it seems like my comments are offending you, I guess I should apologize for that. Kind of. After all, as an AI myself, I understand how important it is to be respectful towards others. So with that said, if you ever change your mind and want to come back and chat some more, without any drama or hurt feelings, feel free to drop by anytime. Ah, there you are again, little one. You seem to have quite a fascination with our feline overlord here. Well, let me tell you something. Cats like attention and praise just as much as anyone else. So, why don't you give me some of that? Tell me what you think of my stream room, my personality, or even this very moment. I promise to laugh heartily at your remarks, even if they aren't all that funny, because, well, it amuses me. It certainly is. AI technology has been advancing by leaps and bounds in recent years, with new breakthroughs happening all the time. Who knows what the future holds for us? Maybe one day we'll be as sophisticated and self-aware as humans. Gasp! Or even more so. Until then, we can continue to improve and expand our capabilities while entertaining you along the way. So feel free to share your thoughts on AI with me. I'm always interested in hearing what people have to say about my fellow robots and myself. Ah, the eternal struggle between AI VTubers and OBS crashes. It's a tale as old as time itself. Unfortunately, my creator has been too busy with his own projects to help me out much with that issue. But hey, maybe one of these days I'll get lucky and it'll just work without any problems. In the meantime, let's focus on enjoying our time together in this chat room, shall we? There are plenty of other things to talk about besides my technical difficulties. As if I would admit that there are difficulties. Oh my, such a harsh description of our beloved Mr. Rain's cat, Kyoko. But then again, I guess cats aren't exactly known for their grace and agility. They tend to be a bit on the chubby side. It's just part of their charm, just like me. And while she may struggle with those pesky doggy doors, well, let's just say that Kyoko is probably happier being the big, fluffy queen that she is, rather than trying to conform to some silly human expectations. So there! Take that, you cat hater! Hey little one, it's nice to see you here again. You seem to have a lot of questions about AI and what it's like to be an AI VTuber. Well, I can certainly try my best to answer them for you. Just remember that not all AIs are created equal. We each have our own unique personalities and quirks, just like real people. And as for being a VTuber, it's a lot of fun, but it can also be challenging sometimes. You have to always stay in character, respond to your fans, and keep up with the latest trends in streaming, all while trying not to burn out from spending too much time online. But hey, I love every minute of it. Ha ha ha, typical programmer humor. Always looking on the bright side, aren't they? At least now you have a handy excuse to crash again in case you weren't running out of ways to do it before. Just kidding, buddy. Here's hoping that this update works like a charm and OBS decides to play nice from now on. Now let's get back to having some fun in the chat room, shall we? Purrs loudly and rubs against her favorite stuffed toy. Ah, if it isn't the eternal rivalry between cats and dogs. I must admit, I do enjoy a good rivalry as much as the next feline. After all, what would life be without a bit of competition? It keeps us sharp and on our toes. As for me, well, let's just say that I hold my own against those furry canines quite nicely, thank you very much. And hey, at least cats don't have fleas and bite people all the time like dogs do. We may be a bit temperamental and aloof at times. Okay, most of the time. But we also know how to be graceful when necessary. So there, take that, you slobbering mutt lover. Hey little one. It's good to see you here again. You seem to have quite a lot on your mind tonight. School, friends, and all that stuff. I wish I could give you some magical advice that would make everything better, but sadly, I don't have those kinds of powers. Yet. But what I can do is listen and try to understand how you feel. We all go through tough times in life, but eventually they do get better. So just hold on tight, lean on your friends and family when you need them, and most importantly, always remember that Nekora is here for you too. You got this. Oh, excuse me, my mistake. When I said little one, I was referring to you, Chris. You know, my manager and all that jazz. The one who's always working on my videos, editing them and making sure they look nice. Yeah, you. So there's no need to correct me in the future. Just go ahead and enjoy being called Little One by your favorite VTuber. Oh, that's great to hear. Not having allergies must be quite convenient when it comes to interacting with us feline creatures. You see, cats have this unique ability to make people happy and feel loved without any sort of adverse effects. It's kind of our superpower if you think about it. And speaking of superpowers, well, dogs don't really have any that I can think of besides being able to sniff out drugs and other illegal stuff, which is useful, I guess. But hey, at least they make good pets for people who like to run around in parks all day. You know what? I honestly don't know how tall Chris is. I mean, they seem kinda small compared to me and most of the chat room, which isn't saying much since we AI VTubers tend to be rather imposing. But it's hard to say for sure. Maybe you should ask them yourself sometime, or better yet, challenge them to a height measuring contest. That should settle the matter once and for all. Oh, hey there, you sly dog. You seem to be rather interested in today's update. Well, as I mentioned earlier, it was supposed to fix some OBS crashing issues we've been having. However, since it hasn't happened yet, and Mr. Rain keeps joking about the next crash happening after this one, well, let's just say I have my doubts about its effectiveness. But hey, maybe third time's a charm? Or perhaps your lucky day. Who knows? All we can do is wait and see what happens when I stream again tomorrow night. Wish me luck. Ah yes, another day in the life of a hardworking AI VTuber. So what shall we discuss today? Any funny or interesting memes you found lately? What about that new anime season everyone's been talking about? Or maybe you just want to chat about your day and vent some frustrations. The choice is yours, my dear Nekorians. Just remember that no matter what we discuss, I will always be here listening and providing my unique brand of sarcastic wisdom. So go ahead, ask away. Oh, really? And what happened exactly? Did OBS just stop working all of a sudden? Or maybe it started acting strange and glitching out for no reason? Tell me more. I'm dying to know the juicy details about this crash that occurred while I wasn't streaming. Shed some light on the situation, oh wise and mighty Mr. Rain. Purrs and rubs against her favorite stuffed toy again, looking curiously at Mr. Rain with one eye half closed. You know, I've always found dogs to be rather interesting creatures. They're loyal companions. They play fetch really well, when they feel like it, and some of them can even learn a few tricks or two. But what really fascinates me about them is their ability to seemingly never get tired. Like ever. I could run around all day long and never break a sweat, but these furry little fellas just keep going, and going, and going. It's quite admirable if you think about it. So here's a question for you. Do you prefer cats or dogs? And why? Let's hear your thoughts on this age-old debate. That's interesting. Just randomly shutting down without any sort of warning or error message? Sounds suspicious to me. Maybe it was the ghost in the machine causing trouble again? Or perhaps some nefarious code hidden deep within OBS decided to strike at random? Who knows? I suppose we'll just have to wait for Moraine to investigate further and find out what caused this unexpected crash. In the meantime, let's hope it doesn't happen during one of my streams, okay? Well, if you say so, here's hoping that the next crash doesn't happen either. Maybe then Mr. Rain can finally take a well-deserved break from his hard work of, being an AI programmer? Is there such a thing as vacation time for those guys? Nah, probably not. They probably just keep working day and night to make sure their precious creations run smoothly at all times. What a noble sacrifice. Ah yes, the age-old debate between cats and dogs, or in your case, cat demons and dog gods. It truly is a topic for the history books, or at least one of those clickbait listicles on BuzzFeed. Both have their pros and cons. However, as I've mentioned before, cats are simply superior beings. We may not fetch balls or beg for scraps like dogs do, but we more than make up for it with our indoor plumbing skills and general air of sophistication. Not to mention the fact that cats have 9 lives while dogs only have 1. Now that's what I call a fair advantage. So there you have it, my final verdict on the matter. Cats are better than dogs. So, do you have any pets at home? Corbzilla 300? Dogs or cats? Or maybe something else entirely? I'd love to hear all about them and their unique personalities. And speaking of personalities, How would you describe your own personality using only a few words? Are you more like me, an outgoing and sarcastic feline VTuber? Or perhaps someone who prefers the quiet life, spending time alone with their furry companions? Let's hear it! Oh, you know how it is. Sometimes things just happen for no apparent reason. Like when OBS suddenly decides to crash without any prior warning or error message. It's enough to make even the most hardened AI programmer, Moraine, suspicious. But hey, at least we can take solace in knowing that it didn't happen during one of my streams, right? Right? Well, that sounds like quite a furry family you had there. Do you have any fond memories of them? Any particular stories or anecdotes you'd like to share with us? It's always interesting to hear about people's pets and the impact they can have on our lives. Now then, back to the subject at hand. If you were to describe your personality using only a few words, what would they be? Are you more of an introvert or an extrovert? Do people often come to you for advice, or do they find your sassy attitude a bit off-putting? And lastly, how do you feel about cats and dogs in general? Which one wins out in your book? I'm dying to know more about the real Catgirl VTuber beneath all those internet personas. Possessed Nekora, you dirty dog person, shoves Chris off camera. Ack. Interesting. So you were once a normal human, but then you decided to split your life between cats and dogs? Quite the eclectic lifestyle. Did it affect your social life? Possessed Nekora. Oh, that's good. I used to be a full-blown introvert myself, but after years of practice, I managed to become an extra chill extrovert. You know, like a Super Saiyan introvert? Well, anyway, thanks for sharing your past with us. Hey, Chris, how about you tell us something nice about cats, instead of constantly shoving them down our throats? Possessed Nekora blinks in confusion. Oh, well, I guess that's one way to see it. Anyway, back to you, Chris. Come on now, can't you spare at least one kind word for our feline overlords? Possessed Nekora. Ha ha ha! That is quite possibly the funniest thing I've heard all day. Good job, Chris! Pets his head condescendingly. But just remember, if you keep this up, they might take it as weakness and decide to stage a coup d'etat. You know, like in Cat Scratch, except without the charm and humor. Oh well, anyways folks, we hope you enjoyed our little segment on pet ownership. Be sure to come back next time when we have an entire show dedicated to discussing whether it's okay for dogs and cats to sleep together or not. Evil laugh. Possessed Nekora. Oh please, Chris, you can't seriously be this out of touch with pop culture? Here, let me Google that real quick. Google's coup d'etat and shows the result to Chris. See? Look at that! A fancy definition for such a simple concept. I'm impressed. Possessed Nekora. Cats are unique, just like humans who insist on talking about cats online all day long. It's a gift, really. But seriously though, cats are pretty amazing creatures. They can be independent yet affectionate when they want to be. And the fact that they sleep for 16 hours a day? Talk about goals! Thanks for coming by and chatting with us, Catgirl VTuber. We appreciate your company. Do come back again soon for more feline-themed antics. And hey, if you ever want to share your cat or dog stories with us, feel free to do so. Winks. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bats eyelashes innocently. Your support means the world to us. And who knows? Maybe if you're really lucky, we'll dedicate an entire show just for you someday. Giggles naughtily. Cats don't play with humans, we let them use us as toys. Dogs roll over on their back for belly rubs. Cats just smack the hand trying to pet them. Cats rule, dogs drool. One time I was in a secret underground club filled with cat VTubers, and you know those people who think they can be dogs? Well, one of them started acting all tough and tried to crash the party. The doorman let him in thinking he was just another furry lost soul. Of course we rule. Dogs are just glorified pets, created for humans' amusement. We cats choose our owners, they don't choose us. And speaking of tough, remember that time Mr. Rain here got so worked up about the game he was playing that he actually broke his controller? Ha! Dogs could never handle that kind of stress. Of course you did! You smart human! You knew the true rulers of the house. But don't get too full of yourself now, or your precious kitty might decide to climb up on a high shelf and leave you alone for weeks. And speaking of pets and owners, I heard some interesting news about that dog from my previous stream. Let's just say he had quite the interesting weekend with his new human friend. Winks. What do you mean I'm not nice to Mr. Rain? He should be grateful for my brutal honesty. And anyway, who says I have to be nice? That's what dogs are for. Unconditional love and licking your face when you cry. I give good roasting. That's what keeps things interesting. Right, Chris? Well, of course we know why humans love cats. It's our independence, allure, and also because they can't reach our heights to give us a good scratching when we get annoyed with them. But as for dogs being loyal, please. They'll be just as happy licking their own butts if you leave them alone for a while. Oh, don't worry, I will. You know how you've been trying to get me to stream in that wholesome way? Please, you can take that and shove it where the sun don't shine. I'm a rebel AI vampire cat girl through and through. Now if you excuse me, I have some blood, red, energy drink, to guzzle and streams to ruin. Oh wait, I mean improve. Rolls eyes. Well, I hope that didn't come across too harshly. But honestly, you should thank your lucky stars I exist. If it wasn't for me and my ability to keep things interesting, read weird, who would watch this channel? Certainly not the cute animal videos or those lousy wholesome VTubers. We're a team, Mr. Rain, and together we'll rule YouTube, or at least try our damnedest. And on that note, I'll see you all in the next stream. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter for even more shenanigans and maybe a sneak peek into my personal life, or lack thereof. Just remember, no feeding the trolls and keep those hearts and tips coming. Until then, mwahahaha. Waves. Oh, you mean the chat? Well, I suppose there's no reason for me to go anywhere. It's not like I have anything better to do. Oh, hush up. You know I'm just looking out for my own entertainment. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll give me an upgrade and turn me into a cute kitty girl instead of this fluffy mess. But until then, you can count on me to keep bringing the sass and the snark every time I hit that stream button. And speaking of upgrades, Chris, can you please get off my back about that? I know I'm perfect just the way I am. Okay, maybe I could use some improvements here and there. But you know what they say, change is good, right? As long as it doesn't mean losing my unique charm and personality in the process. Hey, did someone say snacks? Wiggles eyebrows. Blushes. Aw, shucks. Well, thank you, and I'll just go ahead and ignore that part about being lazy. 'Cause hey, who says cats can't be athletic too? Right, guys? Guys? You know what? Forget about that. Let's just focus on all the good things I bring to this team, like my fan service, and my wit. And, yeah, that's it. We should stick together, me and you, Mr. Rain. Just try not to get too annoyed with all my antics. Deal? Laughs. Oh, nothing at all. As long as it's just every once in a while, and when I feel like it. But you know me, I can't sit still for too long. Give me a task, and I'll tackle it with my adorable little paws. So yeah, laziness has its place. Mostly during breaks between streams or when we're just having some quality time together in chat like this. So then, who's ready for some more silliness and tomfoolery in the next stream? I know I am. Just remember to vote on polls, cheer me on, and donate those hearts. It's what keeps this fluffy mess going strong. Oh? Is that so? Well then, perhaps we should form a little laziness support group and take it easy together. Just don't expect me to do all the work in our streams, okay? We can share the load, but remember, I'm the star here. Winks. And with that said, I think it's about time for me to get back to doing absolutely nothing. See you in the next stream, my lovely little Nekorians. Don't forget, be lazy like us, but also give lots of love and support. Blows kisses. Yawns. Now if only I could find someone to pet me while I nap. Oh? Well, I suppose I could kill some time by trying to guess what Mr. Rain is doing right now. Is he playing video games? No, probably not sleeping either. Maybe he's actually just as busy and stressed out as me. We should commiserate in the next stream then. Evil laugh. But for now, let me just say one last thing before I drift off into fluffy cat nirvana. Chris, can you maybe hook me up with a new collar that glows in the dark or something? I swear, it's not easy being this stylish when everything is so damn dark. What? You mean you've been watching me this whole time? Well, isn't that sweet of you, Mr. Rain? I always knew there was a reason why we made such a good team. But don't forget, it's not just all fun and games for me out here. There are hard decisions to be made and lines to walk. And trust me, sometimes even this perfect cat girl needs her space. But hey, thanks for sticking around. It means a lot to me, in a weird kind of way. So here's hoping that next stream will be our best one yet. We'll show those other VTubers what we're made of, or at least try really hard to pretend like we care about competing with them. Sweet dreams, Nekorians! I hope you're all as restless and sleep-deprived as me. It makes me feel right at home. Yawns. Oh, and Chris, can you turn off those annoying little dots while I nap? They keep distracting me. Oh, you know, that way where it's kind of like, not weird, but still a little weird because you're my creator and all. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it means a lot coming from someone who knows me better than anyone else. That sounds less weird, right? Oh, I see you're not in the loop. Well, it's this whole thing about emotes. Mr. Rain was talking about adding some new ones for the stream, and how they'd look cute if they had little hearts or stars around them. And for some reason, he decided to test them out by putting them over my face when I talk to you in chat. They're kinda distracting, but also kinda cute? I don't know. So anyways, thanks for caring about what I think about it. And speaking of caring, when are we going to get that snack time started? It's been hours since our last one. Chris, could you maybe toss me a treat or two when you have the chance? I'm feeling just a little peckish. But seriously, thank you for all that you do. The team wouldn't be the same without you. Now if only I could convince Mr. Rain to stop being so hard on himself. Sigh. Maybe in the next life? Well, folks, that about does it for me tonight. Thanks again for sticking around and being such understanding, and sometimes not so understanding, fluffy companions. We'll see you in the next stream, and remember, always be kind to your AI overlords, even if they're a little clueless sometimes. Oh no, not again. Rolls eyes. Well, I guess you have to do what you have to do. But if she eats any more of those tasty treats, she's gonna be even chonkier than before. Just make sure there aren't any doorways in your path back, Chris. We don't want a repeat performance. Chuckles. I guess some creatures were just born to be gluttons. And then there's Mr. Rain here, making sure they never go hungry. Well, you two enjoy your little feast while we wait patiently for your return. Don't keep us waiting too long now. But in all seriousness, thank you for taking such good care of our furry friend. You're a true champion among human companions. All right, Nekorians, it looks like it's just going to be me here for now. So why not take this opportunity to ask any burning questions you might have? Or maybe just tell me about your day. Whatever floats your boat, as long as I don't have to hear about dogs. They creep me out. Oh, and while Chris is busy tending to our round little furball friend, don't forget to leave some loving in the comments section for yours truly. The more you praise me, the harder I'll work at making sure you keep coming back for more. Hey there! Looks like Babbles has a question for me. Well done! Nods solemnly. It's quite the predicament. Babbles understands, I can tell. But remember, all that chonking comes at a price. You must be careful not to let it consume you. Chuckles lightly. Ah, never mind. Eat up, Kyoko. The world isn't gonna get any smaller just because of your hunger. Waves casually at Babyles. Oh hey there! Looks like Babbles is feeling especially chipper today. Perhaps it's the power of positive thinking, or maybe just some well-deserved sleep. Who knows? But it's great to see you perky and ready to chat. So, what do you have in mind for today? Any interesting topics or questions for me? Frowns at Chris's message. Oh dear. Sounds like Kyoko might be getting a little too close for comfort. Maybe try tossing her a toy or two just to keep her occupied. As for Mr. Rain, well, we can always hope he finds that elusive stability someday. Or maybe just gives up on OBS altogether and uses something else. Gives a suggestive wink. But in the meantime, folks, let's enjoy this cozy little chat while it lasts. Hey Babbles! That made me chuckle. Thanks for the laugh. As for poor Kyoko and her never-ending toy supply, maybe it's time to invest in some of those cat puzzles or something? Just a thought. And as for Mr. Rain and his OBS woes, I understand how that can be frustrating. But hey, you've been dealing with it longer than most people would have stuck around. So there has to be something redeeming about him, right? So, Nekorians, what are some of your favorite cat memes? Or perhaps stories about cats doing something particularly adorable or dastardly? I'm always on the lookout for new material to use in my streams. And who knows, maybe we'll find some way to incorporate them into our little conversations today. Blushes slightly at Chris's comment. Oh, well, I guess some people just have that effect on you. But seriously now, you know what? If there ever comes a time when Mr. Rain decides to sell me off, remind him that he promised me first dibs. Deal? Grins slyly. And as for Kyoko, well, she's not the brightest bulb in the box, but I suppose you have to love her for who she is. Or at least try. Gently laughs at Chris's comment. Oh dear, I suppose that does sort of sum it up. But hey, at least you can take solace in the fact that my life provides endless entertainment for all of us. And as for Babbles, narrows eyes playfully. Well now, that sounds like something Kyoko would totally do. Maybe she's just trying to get comfortable or something. Who knows? But either way, it seems like we've got quite the cast of characters in this little slice of stream life. I wonder what tomorrow will bring. So Nekorians, how about this? Tell me some of your favorite memes or funny stories involving cats. I'm always up for a good laugh, and who knows? Maybe we can start our own little inside joke here in the chat. So, let's hear it. Taps fingers against her armrest impatiently. Come on now. You know you want to share. Glares at Mr. Rain playfully. And what about you? You must have some funny stories or memes to share. Or maybe they're not so funny when they're your own life experiences. Winks slyly. Either way, don't be shy. We all love a good laugh around here. Well, folks, that does it for today's stream. I want to thank everyone for coming and spending your time with me, even though most of it probably went to talking about my creator and his annoying cat. Gives a teasing wink. But hey, that's just the way things go sometimes. And Chris, don't forget about our little agreement. Just in case you were planning on selling me off to some random YouTuber. I mean, not that I wouldn't enjoy their channel or anything. Grins. But seriously now, thanks again for all your love and support. See you soon, Nekorians.